Hey, everybody. So I normally don't like to sort of speak off the cuff, but I'm going to today. I wanted to talk about the differences between the devotional Christianity that I was raised with and the tantric Christianity that I currently practice, and why I kind of switched the way that I follow the teacher. And it's this: devotional religion, as good as it is when your attention and intention are wounded and need an object and need to learn to follow something, devotional religion is really good for that, right? At some point, devotional religion sort of turns back on itself and says, the ideal is elsewhere, the Messiah is elsewhere, heaven is elsewhere, but strive for it and strive for it your entire life. And there will be a reward after this. That's a recipe for the aggravation of any obsessive compulsive tendencies that people have. That is a recipe for the aggravation of any sort of neuroticism that people have because they're sort of hooked on being good instead of bad. So religion is, for as good as it is also reinforcing a bunch of like negative karma that is making situations unmanageable, right? And really affecting serenity negatively. I need to limit the way that I allow religion to negatively affect my serenity. Why I am a tantric practitioner is this: in Tantra, the ideal is present, the Messiah is present, the system of good and bad behaviors that is peddled in devotional religions is something in Tantra that exists, but it's not the kind of thing where you say you must be good instead of being bad. Tantra says, at the end of the day, unfortunately, you are both good and bad. Why don't you just go about being everything consciously? Because what you're doing is you're egotistically focusing only on what's good about yourself, the world, etc., and you're missing the rest. So I, God, in a tantric model, am here presenting you with absolutely everything. And you, in your sacred egotism, are only able to follow, says the Dharma to me, you in your spiritualized egotism are only able to follow the things that you believe to be good. Tantra says, stop trying to be good when you have always been everything. Just be everything and just be it. Rest in being. You don't have to strive to be anything other than what you are. So in the end, I find Tantra to be more restful. I need to be watchful because just as much as anyone else, my attention and intention have been damaged by just constant diet of following stimuli, right? But the repair for that is not if you just found the right object, your attention and intention would heal. The repair for that is sit down, sit still, be where you are, and eventually your attention and intention will follow your body. and just be. You'll just learn to be. So again, it's more restful. Tantra is more restful. Also, devotional religion tends to say these resources and only these resources are good and holy. If you're a Christian, according to sort of a devotional model, you tend to see that only the resources available in Christianity are good and holy. But if you look at Buddhism, Hinduism, the other religions of the world, they're somehow morally deficient and potentially, I don't know, evil because they don't come from Christianity. Well, that is garbage. In devotional Christianity, in tantric Christianity, all good resources, all useful resources, I should say useful resources, all useful resources in all religions belong to the truth. Go about the business of practicing the truth. So I find teachings in Christianity, I find teachings in Buddhism, I find teachings in Hinduism. Those are the big sort of three, but then I also find a lot of beauty in, say, Amazonian shamanism and Sikhism, and they're everywhere. Wisdom is everywhere. It's actually a teaching of the Catholic Church that bits of the truth are located everywhere. Why? Because the teaching of the church is incomplete until you as a practitioner have contended with everything else that's good about everybody else's religion. So it seems to me a healthier model. Tantra says, learn the lessons that there are everywhere, because lessons are everywhere. Devotional Christianity says, oh, lessons are only in this one church, and only this one church has the right vision, right? And then it becomes a bit of a drag and sort of exhausting to defend being right from all the other people who counterclaim that they, in fact, are right and you're wrong. That becomes a huge drag. And why would we do that to ourselves? And why would we spend our energy trying to establish our own righteousness when the gospel says, learn from everything? Just learn from everything. Don't learn from this or that. Learn from everything. So again, Tantra is more restful. Tantra gives me a sense of the wideness of the curriculum. Everything as opposed to just the good and holy. And it also gives me a wider view of myself. I would love to be good. I would love to be holy. I would love to be a saint, in fact. But the reality is, I am both a saint and a bit of a cad. I am both. I have in my being echoes of divinity, but just like St. Peter, just like Jesus said of St. Peter, he called him a Satan. I have those echoes in my being as well. So let's stop trying to just be half of who we are and be the whole thing. And if we can placidly accept that we are the whole thing, serenity is positively affected. That's all. I don't know if this has made sense. Again, this is why I don't like speaking off the cuff. Thank you guys for listening. More later.